Maybe I only have one question for you. Are you a digital forensics expert?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No further questions. Thank you.
Eventually, the body will float to the surface due to this gas buildup.
His lungs and airway were both missing, so they couldn't see if there was water in his lungs, indicating drowning.
As water rushes into the mouth and nose, the lungs panic, trying to grab one last breath.
4 types of black betrayal that keep us shackled. Level 1, the house slave. Meet Stephen.
The manner in which they presented
Okay, what do you mean by that?
He just sat there and read it. And number one, I don't think he was the best person to read it. He's just kind of reading off medical and terms that he didn't do the best job of pronouncing.
Don't you get it, man? We still don't have the answer.
Real rock from the rock, an unusual musical happening in a most unusual place. The state prison.
Big Bass Life with another informative video, man. Back to this Nolan Wells case. We have a lot of compromised people in this Nolan Wells situation, trying to cover and trying to sway this investigation. Now, one thing that I caught, even looking at this Nancy Grace investigation, or not investigation, but Nancy Grace interview, and she's doing some good work, but I can kind of see how she's playing devil advocate and
haul in, tug in boats, ships that need help. Okay, hold on. Heather Barnhart with me, digital forensics expert, author, co-author of Practical Mobile Forensics 4th edition. What about GPS? What can I learn from the GPS on that boat? Because I want to know.
If his phone is on the boat, it is tracking every location that the boat went to. I would also be curious on the last time the phone was unlocked, the last steps, even if it's not unlocked, the last steps will be tracked, and last general usage.
Then they come back and say that Nolan didn't have clothes on. But this United Cajun Navy guy compromised. Check out this clip on how he tried to divert and cover for the boys.
Because we may be able to say the last time that Nolan was on his device and physically using it, which would be really helpful in this investigation.
Straight out to Brian Trasher joining us, Vice President, United Cajun Navy, who participated in the search for Nolan. Couple of questions. What can you tell me about GPS on boats, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, they operate just like any other kind of GPS. They get fed from satellites, and they keep archives of logs and trips and things like that. A couple of things I want to point out there, Nancy, because I'm probably the only person on the panel that's been to Horn Island. They said, going back to the phone and possible deleted messages and all that, when his mother at first said she thought that messages had been deleted, she later clarified that what she was talking about, she thought it was odd that Nolan had not done any Snapchats, which was his favorite app, presumably. So the reason why he didn't do any Snapchats because he didn't have a signal. It's very hard to get a cell phone signal on Horn Island, and Snapchat doesn't upload if you don't have a signal. What I told him was to check his camera roll. If he wasn't able to upload on his app, maybe he just took pictures with his regular camera and saved it to his camera roll, see if there's any pictures on there. But there's no evidence to suggest that anybody went in and deleted any text messages or anything like that that day. So I just we've been fighting so much information out there, just don't want to help spread it by not addressing that.
Brian Trasher, you and I go back a long way with your involvement with United Cajun Navy. I only have one question for you. Are you a digital forensics expert?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No further questions. Thank you.
Now, at first, the United Cajun Navy people, the one guy that talked about Nolan had, now they changed the story. First, it was Nolan was fully clothed. Nolan had clothes on. The boat, the timing on the boat. Check this out. The timing on the boat, if your boat is taking on water and it's gonna eventually sink. You want to get that boat to the dock it, and be done with it. You want to get it out the water. But almost an hour or hours after this reported tow came in, that's another.
They stated the boat was sinking. But was it?
At 4:31, the boat leaves Horn Island and it is towed approximately 3 miles, and then the tow ends. So after 3 miles, they go back to the original dock, okay? They arrive at 5:44 p.m. So it looks like this is where Horn Island is, and this is where the original dock is that I am referring to. I looked it up, and El Camino Real Road is in Gulf Hills, Mississippi, which is right above Ocean Springs. So I'm wondering if this is the house where they got the phone. The boat travels to Fort Bayou. At 6:06, the boat returns to the original dock. Then, from the original dock, the boat goes back to Fort Bayou, and then they go to the boat launch, and it is put onto the trailer and moved by the vehicle. Did they drop people off at the original dock, travel to Fort Bayou, pick somebody up, and go back to that original dock? And then, from there, why was there an hour and 13-minute time gap? This boat was sinking hours before, and then they're just having it docked for an hour and 13 minutes. You would think they'd want to get that boat out of the water ASAP.
Now, let me tell you like this. I've been through I've seen a lot of death, and I've seen a lot of situations. And one thing I've studied in history is how they cover for one another. You're talking about the police force who came out after getting the body fresh out the water. Oh, there's no crime here. Accidental drowning. Number one. Number two, the coroners sending the body with no lungs, no neck region, and some other things that are fishy in that situation.
The front of Nolan's neck was missing along with his lungs. We just got the results of the independent autopsy done by Nolan Wells' family, and they are very concerning. One of the first things they said was that his lungs and airway were both missing, so they couldn't see if there was water in his lungs indicating drowning. His brain was missing, so they couldn't see if there was a brain bleed, and even his stomach contents were missing, so they couldn't see if he had drugs in his system. They said in the initial autopsy, the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office had removed all of those parts for further evaluation before the independent autopsy, so they didn't have a lot to work with. So they listed the cause and manner of death as undetermined pending investigation, as we're still waiting for the initial autopsy results and toxicology reports. They said after all this, we're still left with these key questions. Why did Wells enter the water? What was the body position when found? Was there water in the airway? Is there evidence of injuries to the front of Wells' neck? Is there any evidence of a brain bleed? What was in Wells' stomach contents? What are the toxicology report findings? Not sure what's taking the initial autopsy so long to release even their preliminary findings, but rest in peace to Nolan Wells. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as soon as we have any new details, I'll keep you guys updated.
On here, this John Mobley, and he's like trying to cover. Everybody is covering for the man who goes to an island, stays deserted without his phone. His friends take his phone home. They don't want to give the phone back. The mother got to go and research to get the phone. They lawyer up, delete their accounts, and nothing is fishy. Y'all have nothing to say about this. None of these raccoons got nothing to say about this. Any two ways. Check this out.
Straight out to John Mobley joining me out of Charleston. He's a renowned trial attorney, founded John Mobley Law Firm. Okay, Mobley, have at it.
Well, Nancy, I got to call it like I see it. There are a lot of things that I don't like about this presentation. I think the first problem I see is they put out this autopsy and they kind of gave you a lot of sizzle. They gave a big dog and pony show, but they didn't really make it clear on the findings and conclusions and how they could be interpreted. And I think that's kind of the problem with this case. They put all this stuff out there, all the legal terms, all this forensic jargon, and now everybody's whipped up in a frenzy trying to understand what it means, speculating, guessing, and the reality of it is, unless you're an expert, a forensic expert, none of us are qualified to interpret those findings. Now, I've been involved in countless homicide cases where I've had to look at forensic autopsies and discuss the findings with experts. And that's what you have to do. And ultimately what it comes down to is they put this thing out there, this preliminary autopsy finding, and they did not present any real conclusions. And that is a problem. And to address your specific concern, Nancy,
Put up Mobley. Listen, I'm not vouching for the character of Crump or Sharpton. That said, of course, are you saying they were wrong not to put it out there? I think they were right to put it out there, whether it's inconclusive or not.
The manner in which they presented it.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
He just sat there and read it. And number one, I don't think he was the best person to read it. He's just kind of reading off medical and terms that he didn't do the best job of pronouncing. And they didn't really present a conclusive finding. And what that does is...
Well, there is no conclusive finding, Mobley.
Well, he should have said that, because what he does, though, in the manner in which it's presented, when you take a case like this, you take little bits and pieces and put them out there in that manner, what you're doing is you're feeding these conspiracy theories like, oh my God, there's some big mystery, some conspiracy about what happened, regarding saying, hey, here's the deal. In situations like this, based on the rate of decomposition, things like that.
Don't you get it, man? We still don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. He's got a red mark deep in subcutaneous tissue on the back of his head. Wait.
Here's a
go back to Kendall Krause real quick. Wait. Kendall. Where's Kendall? Why am I not seeing Kendall? Kendall, please turn around and show everybody what we're talking about, because I'm doing this. Show me occipital.
Occipital's right here. Back ahead.
How
right where your
in the world, out of his whole body, is that where the blood pools? I'm not buying it. And I'm not saying this is a homicide. I am saying it. There are a lot of disturbing circumstances surrounding this young man, the star athlete's death, and I am not letting it go. And I don't care how much hate mail you send me. I do not care. Okay, Mobley, what else?
What I want to state is that, and this is based on my experience being involved in numerous homicides, having examined numerous autopsies and discussed the case and the findings with numerous forensic pathologists. When you have a body, a human individual, okay, that person has experienced trauma in various physical trauma in various aspects of their life. They just had a picture of him being wearing a football uniform. He can sustain injuries playing football, in practice, horse around with his friends. So, a person can die and have different injuries that pre-existed to the date of the death that are completely unrelated to the death, but they are there on the body because they're a live, active individual. And that's my whole point about your fixation on the injury to the back of the head. I'm not saying that it was necessarily predated the injury, but there's got to be some medical evidence to tie it to his death. And there is not, because they can't do that. They cannot date that injury.
Okay, guys, you're hearing Mobley. I just lost a satellite. Get that back up for me. In the meantime,
this has been Big Bass Life with another informative video, man. What say you, fam? Leave a comment. What do you think? I think it's a cover-up. Been a cover-up, forever gonna be a cover-up. The thing is, it's not what they're gonna do. What are we gonna do? Far too often we look for justice for people who have no justice for us. So, does anybody, understand what payback is? Because if you don't fight the bully is going to continue to bully. So you have to hit back. And I know a lot of times you don't want to hear that. And that's not, you think it's not godly. But God, the Creator, hates cowards. And if you are a coward and afraid to protect that which is your own, your children, our children, then we will forever be in these situations. As you can see, it continues on and on and on. Ahmaud Arbery, Tamir Rice. Keep on going. Bolton John. You keep going. You keep on going. Even the other young men that were killed on the unalived on July 4th. Does that sound familiar? Threw the phone out the window, got rid of his clothes, didn't say nothing, deleted all of. Come on, man. We see it's a cover-up. But it ain't what they're gonna do, it's what you're gonna do. Any two ways, Big Bad's Life with another informative video, man. What say you? Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, rest in peace, Nolan Wells.